why Erling Haaland's going nowhere, and I've got 2 free transfers, and I'm definitely using both this week. Welcome to my team selection for game week 11. Loads of decisions this week. I'm going to talk you through my captaincy, my benching headaches, but most importantly, my transfers. We're going to start with a man that's not leaving my team, and I'm going to explain why. Erling Haaland, ladies and gents. He has been sold by a huge amount of managers. His form is, of course, off, but the signs still, I think, are promising. If you're enjoying the show, by the way, please do hit that like and subscribe button nice and early. So look, Erling Haaland, we can see the first 5 games compared to the last 5 games, it's been pretty brutal for owners. We saw early in the season hat-trick, 17 pointers, and in the last 5 we've seen a 2, 2, 2, a 6 and a 2, which has been very disappointing given opposition like Wolves and Southampton where you expect hauls. But it's not all bad, because the underlying data, take the last 2 game weeks, for example. I saw this from Brad Mayer on Twitter. 13 shots, most in the league. 6 shots on target, most in the league. 6 big chances, most in the league. Of all players in the last 2 game weeks, he's had the highest expected goals in the league. You could argue he's been unlucky. I think that turns, and I think we don't have to buy in too much to the narrative of no De Bruyne. De Bruyne, by the way, there's a very good chance he features, maybe not starts, but features against Brighton this weekend. Brighton is a good fixture for Erling Haaland. They can see chances, and I think Haaland is a definite hold this week. Let's move on, though, to Cole Palmer, because he is someone that, again, is mass owned and people are a little bit twitchy about. Cole Palmer was not able to train in the week. He's, of course, not involved in Chelsea's European group stage squad, therefore he always gets the midweek rest. But we saw him pick up the knock last time out. He's flagged for the Arsenal game. Will he make it? Won't he make it? I think this news, and we'll probably find out more. I'm recording this on Thursday before Chelsea's game, but we'll probably find out more by Friday press conferences on Cole Palmer. He is someone I could sell this week if he's injured, but I'm more likely to sell with a very heavy heart, Phil Foden. And I really don't want to, because I think Man City versus Brighton is a good fixture. And Foden in the Champions League this season, all games of late, 4 games, 3 goals, 1 assist, he's looked good. In my FPL team in the last 3 weeks, we've seen 0 goals, 1 assist, but we've seen brilliant underlying data, 2.24 XGI. He's had the highest expected assists over that period of any player. Again, a bit like Haaland, you can blame variance and bad luck. Now, over the course of the season, this balances out. And with players like Foden and Haaland, you've got to think you've got to be patient and they will come good. The issue I've got is there's a player in a similar price band to Phil Foden that I really want to buy this week. And we'll get to him in just a second. But first, let me show you my bus team and how I'm set up for game week 11. This is, after all, my team selection video. I've got Sales in goal, Trent, Gabriel and Rico Lewis. Palmer and Burmo, Foden still currently in, and Rodgers. And then up front, we've got Haaland, Solanke and Calvert-Lewin, and boy, I'm definitely selling one of those this week. You can probably guess who. Before we see who I'm selling and who I'm buying, shout out to OneFootball, who sponsor this YouTube show. OneFootball is an app I use on a daily basis around the Champions League, by the way. It's so good for all your news snippets, for your goals, for your live scores and injury news. It's a brilliant resource for FPL. It's a great resource if you're a football fan, and it's a free football app. You should have it on your home screen. It's a no-brainer. Link in the description. You can scan the QR code. I think you'll really love OneFootball, guys. So decisions I'm making this week. I'm buying Bruno. I am buying Bruno. I'm not 100% sure who I'm buying him for, but I am buying Bruno. And let me show you why I'm so hot on Bruno. Well, in the last 3 games, top of the charts. Big chances created, number 1. Chances created, number 1. Shots, only one player's had more shots. That's Erling Haaland. Big chances, he's 3rd. XGI, he's 3rd. Man United have turned a corner. Since Ten Hag has left, we like Bruno. Now, Van Nistelrooy has his last game in charge against Leicester. He played Leicester only a week ago in the EFL Cup, and they scored 5 goals, Man United, against Leicester. They have never scored 5 goals under Ten Hag, by the way. Bruno faces Leicester at home, and then new manager comes in, Amorim, and he has Ipswich away, Everton at home. For those 3 fixtures, I want Bruno in my FPL team. Absolutely want Bruno in my FPL team. So he will come in for Cole Palmer. 10% chance, I think. 90% chance he comes in for Phil Foden with a heavy heart. Because I just look at those 3 games, and if you're buying a Man United player, now's the time to buy, because after those 3 games, they've got some tough fixtures. So I don't think we want to be reacting to, oh, Man United just beat Leicester, let's buy Bruno now. I don't think we want to do that, because it's like, oh, great, you get Ipswich away, Everton at home, then you get a couple of tough games. I think if you're going to invest in a Man United attacker, this is the week to do it. And that could be Haaland, it could be Garnacho. That's fine. Dalot at the back, I think, is a good option. But for me, if you can afford it, and I can, Bruno is the obvious pick. So that's where I'm at. This is obviously before Thursday night game, so things could change, but I'm pretty set on buying Bruno, and I think it'll be for Foden. Now, Bruno has been one of the big underperformers in FPL this season. And sure, last week we saw some points because he got a penalty, but in terms of his conversion, it's been bad. And I got this data from the Scout members area, and if you haven't already checked Fantasy Football Scout out, guys, make sure you do. I'm on the members area. On a daily basis, it's the resource for FPL. There's a link in the description for Scout too. Bruno, 1 goal from 3.75 XG. That is absolutely shocking by his very high standards. Now, he is the biggest underperformer in the league so far. Eze is second, Traore third. Now, when we go through this list, some of them you go, yeah, they're bad finishes, Gianni. They'll always underperform their XG. Adama Traore probably is always short of his XG. You expect that. But players like Bruno, good finishers, over the course of a season, that balances out. And he will finish around par. Right? He'll score the same amount of goals as what he's meant to. He's just had a really unfortunate start and had some bad finishing. Of course he has. Now, players like Dominic Calvert-Lewin, you might say, well, yeah, like Adama, maybe they're just a bad finisher and they'll always underperform. He's completely out of form. So 2 players of big conversation for my team this week are Bruno, who I'm buying because I like the fact that he's going to do way better, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who's also on this list that I'm selling because I'm selling for a variety of reasons. Everton aren't scoring many goals. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who's gone from 90-minute man to 80-minute man to last time out 60-minute man, might not even be guaranteed to start this weekend, and they go to West Ham. Now, the fixtures have been good for Everton, but it's time to sell. It's time to sell Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So when we look at my team, we can see like Haaland and Solanke, Calvert-Lewin. That felt like a month ago, quite a set and forgets at a front line for a while. Yet Calvert-Lewin, it is his time to go. So who am I buying? I mean, if I'm buying Bruno for Foden, I've got loads of money to spend. I can go up to like 7 million for a forward. There are so many good budget forwards. I'm not buying players I really like. I'm not buying Chris Wood. I think he's a great buy. I'm not buying Danny Welbeck. I think he's a good option. I'm not buying Jimenez. I don't think I'm overly hot. I think the rotation over Christmas, all of our buys now, guys, we need to be buying players that we feel like are going to be set and forget, i.e. in their team, they're going to be 90-minute men over a busy schedule. We do, of course, have 6 game weeks in December. It comes thick and fast. So there's midweek rounds of Premier League action, and players like Jimenez could come out for a game. Or we'll see a lot of 75-minute subs. The strikers I think I'm going to buy are either Strand Larsen or Cunha. It's one of the Wolves lads. Now, Cunha's the better option, but he's 1.1 million more. I need to work out if that 1.1, how useful it's going to be to me. And whilst I can't see a direct plan for what I'm looking to do in 12 and 13 and beyond, I don't want to plan after the international break. I know 1.1 million is always useful. Of course it is. But does Cunha get me an extra 20% in points? I think he probably does, right? Cunha is on all set pieces. He's on direct free kicks. He's probably on penalties, although Sarabia could be on them. We don't know yet. Sarabia is back fit. But Cunha is the main man in that team. However, Strand Larsen has got a bit of swagger about him, and he is scoring goals. He is the main number 9 in the team. Cunha sort of plays off him to the left, of course. Cunha the better option. Do I want to spend the extra money? I don't know. I'm 50-50 on which one of the Wolves players I buy. This is purely a fixtures play, by the way. When you look at the Wolves fixtures, it is amazing how many good fixtures they've got in terms of potential goals. So one of the Wolves lads will be coming in. So when we see my team, let's take Foden out for, yeah, of course, Foden's gone for Bruno. But let's put Cunha in for DCL. Now we need to talk about captaincy and bench headaches, because I've got them this week. Guys, if you're enjoying the stream, by the way, or the show, do hit that like button. But please do subscribe to the channel as well. Your subscribes do mean a lot in in a time of year where it's a little bit quieter on FPL YouTube. Right, let's talk about, should we go benchings first or captaincy first? Let's talk about benchings. I currently have Mykolenko first sub, and I'm not overly comfortable with it because I think Everton keep a clean sheet. And actually, I benched Mykolenko last week, and he was on a clean sheet until like the last 10 minutes, and he was on bonus points too. I could very easily take Rodgers out for Mykolenko, but there is also a good chance a player like Rico Lewis doesn't start. But Rico Lewis didn't start last time out, and he came on at 70 minutes. So I've got a decision to make. How do I get Mykolenko in this team? Do I take Lewis out? I don't think so. Do I take Rodgers out? Maybe I do. And maybe that's the direction I have to go in this week. Rodgers did play in the week for Aston Villa, who lost in Europe on the Tuesday night. He is fit. I think that might be a move I have to make because Mykolenko's clean sheet odds I think are pretty useful against a West Ham team that are just completely on the ropes. Goalkeepers, by the way, Fabianski is now starting. We don't know. He could be dropped this week because he's not been great either, but Areola hasn't been good and Fabianski's got the last couple of games. Fabianski versus Sales is a tight one. They're both at home. Sales plays for the much better team, but Newcastle are a good attack. Fabianski plays an Everton team who are shy up front. I wonder if Beto comes in for DCL, by the way. Beto's been getting more and more minutes off the bench, and he has looked a little bit more of a handful than Calvert-Lewin. I think I'll probably start Sales. Captaincy is a two-horse race for me. Before I tell you who I'm going to go with, or likely to go with, I'd just like to say, if you own Mo Salah, I think he is the number one captaincy option this week. Salah isn't someone I can get to. I've made my bed. I'm going Haaland over Salah. But I do think this week, Salah is the best captaincy option. Liverpool had a home Champions League game on Tuesday night. Aston Villa are away. That matters. Aston Villa being away on Wednesday, by the way. They're looking a little bit tired, Villa. And I think Liverpool at home just come with a completely different upside. So Salah, if you've got him. If you don't, I think Solanke's probably the standout. But I am recording this before Spurs play on Thursday night. And the minutes that Solanke gets will impact my decision. I want to see huge rotation there at Spurs. I'd love to see Solanke getting very few, if any, minutes. And if so, and if they look good, I think there's a very good chance Solanke's my captain for Ipswich, which is the best fixture. It's completely the best fixture. They are the best attack, Spurs, for XG, for shots, for big chances, and for goals. And Ipswich are pretty much 19th or 20th in all the defensive stats. They really, really are. It's the best matchup. Haaland, because he's Haaland and he is getting the chances. Now, in the week, we saw Haaland miss a penalty. We saw him miss more big chances in the Champions League. That is going to flip at some point. The fact he's getting the chances means we don't need to be too disheartened. If he wasn't getting the chances, he'd be a sell. The fact that he's getting all this XG, he's getting the chances, he's still a legit captaincy option. I think I'll probably go Solanke, but let's see what happens on Thursday night first. Guys, loads to go through in today's show. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know what you think I should do, and then let me know what you think to my decisions in the comments below. I'll see you for another show very soon. If you're interested in the Game Week 12 wildcard, by the way, I'm looking to do a Game Week 12 wildcard this weekend video. I will drop it ahead of the international break, so look out for that one. Speak to you soon, guys. Take care. Go well. Hit those buttons on the way out. And good luck in Game Week 11. Bye-bye.